Allison. I'm here on behalf of my grandparents, Phil and Angie.
Pull the microphone down so
Sorry.
we can hear you. Thank you.
I am on behalf of my grandparents, Phil and Angie Marquez. I would like to read from a proclamation given to him by the city for the type of citizen being targeted by this proactive code enforcement policy. Whereas Phil Marquez is a lifelong resident of Ventura, whereas Phil Marquez has lived in the same Ventura residence for greater than 55 years and has been cutting hair at Phil's barbershop on Main and Ventura Avenue for over 50 years. Whereas Phil Marquez is a devoted husband and father of 4 children, grandfather of 10, and great-grandfather of 12, which has increased since this was written. Whereas Phil Marquez is regarded as a community treasure, a raconteur, and oral historian of the city as a whole. Now, therefore, I, Brian Brennan, Mayor of City of San Buenaventura, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim June 14th, 2004 to be Phil Marquez Day in the City of San Buenaventura and recognize and congratulate Mr. Marquez for his many years of service to his community. I feel this proactive code enforcement policy is causing this community treasure undue hardship for a home which states here he's obviously lived in for 55 years. Nothing has changed in over 55 years. And now suddenly, there's something wrong with it. If there's something that comes on, the amnesty is so flawed that, according to this gentleman here, that unless someone reports it voluntarily, you know, now they can't get amnesty according to him, because they've already been targeted. Which, right there, that's the biggest flaw right there. So I think definitely something needs to be changed. Something needs to be amended, because it doesn't make any sense. Well, after all this time, suddenly they're being targeted for somebody who has obviously, according to the city, is a community treasure. A day is named after my grandfather, and now can't sleep. My grandparents, they're up at night. They're too old for this. It's ridiculous.
Thank you.
I'd only ask another quick question. And by the way, it was a pleasure giving that to Phil and to your father. Being around the property, I'm assuming that there's materials. It's not structural. It's not additional structures. It's you've been over there. You say it's been the same for 55 years, and then I hear Phil said there's a lot of things. Pete say there's a lot of things that have to be cleaned up and taken out of there. What's your reaction to what the problem is over there? I'm not hearing.
Well, from what I understand is there's also, if there's a code, there's been, like a building that's been there, like their neighbors across the way, that's been there for over 50 years. We don't know if there's permits, if it was added to, or if what they're talking about, the setback, which you referred to, the setback may not be what it's supposed to be. So what are they going to do? Knock down their house?
Right. Well,
after 50 years,
yeah. And
now it's supposed to be up to code now, and they can't be grandfathered in because of the amnesty right now.
Well, that's what we'll ask that good question there too. But when after this, we'll answer it. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Barbara, followed by Michael Pedswater.
Good evening, Mayor Weir and council members. My name is Barbara Marquez O'Neill, and I'm here to speak in support of my parents, who have been mentioned a few times. My father is 94, and my mother is 87 years old. My parents live on Social Security, and my dad supplements it by working as a barber, and I'm sure you all know where that shop is. I know that there are many elders on fixed incomes and low-income residents who are negatively impacted by the city's proactive code enforcement. I would hope that the city does not want to add to the homelessness that already exists in the county. My parents and I recently heard about the proactive code enforcement taking place in our neighborhood from a dear family friend and neighbor who spoke this evening, who recently received a letter telling them to make an appointment and also to have an inspection of their home and property. My parents received a similar letter last week. Since hearing about this action, I have observed my parents having an increased stress level. And it's very troubling to us with their age They are taking high blood pressure medicine, and we are very blessed to have had them this long in our lives, and we would like to continue to have them in our lives. And this is undue stress, and I just think that it's wrong. My parents immediately went to a place of fear. Now, if my parents went to a place of fear, how many other elders went into that place? They went to a place of fear because of the official tone of the letter and the language that was used. They didn't understand it. They didn't know what was meant by it. And whether there was reason or not to feel that fear, they felt it. It was their perception. Research tells us that most elders who are independent would prefer to remain in their homes as long as possible because these are the surroundings they are familiar with, feel comfortable in, and where they have many cherished memories. Being in their home gives them peace of mind, and moving them may lead to depression. And there's research on that where deaths occur when that happens.
Barbara, can you wrap up here?
Yes.
Thank you.
I want to believe that as leaders you desire to come from a place of integrity and compassion, and I want to believe that lessons have been learned from the displacement of community members from a neighborhood called Tortilla Flats. I know that the city supported the historical mural project that is displayed under the overpass at Figueroa Street, and my parents and my sister and I are pictured on a tile on that mural project. I want to believe that there will be no need for another project such as that with my aged parents on a tile somewhere under a freeway or on another wall. And I hope that you do act with compassion. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. And Michael, that's the last card I have is Michael's. So can you put it up on the ledge so we can see it there? We didn't see it, sorry. Thank you.
Good evening, Mrs. Mayor,
Michael.
Councilman, Mr. Cole, Mr. Ariel. I've waited so long, I think, to speak. I've forgotten pretty much what I wanted to say. I support all of these eloquent speakers before me. I don't know what to say to top what they've said. I've come here looking for help, and what I see and what I hear is some of us are breaking the law because we purchased a home where the permit that was granted or taken out 40 or 50 years ago when I was 5 or 6 years old is not the correct permit. And I have a problem with you calling my unit substandard when I have 20 people waiting and dying to rent that unit out every time they come in. I have questions as to what you're calling substandard, Mr. Stoffler. And when a place is safe, I thought this was supposed to be about safety, okay? That's not what it's about. I received 3 phone calls where I felt badgered by Bruce, telling me, why can't I come in today? Why can I not come in today? Neil asked me why I let you in. I had no idea. I was not informed of my rights, okay? I didn't know this. I did not know this. But criminals are told they are informed of their rights. What is going to happen here, folks? I'm looking for amnesty. I don't see it here. I'm looking for help. I don't see it here, folks. I just don't. So what's going to happen is you're going to have a community here where only people that make $100,000 and more can afford to live here. And people like me, artists and so forth, will not be able to live here. And I will say au revoir. Thank you very much. It's been a nice 12 years. I've been paying taxes here for 12 years. Folks, we need your help. We need to make sense out of this. We need to work together. Help us get, if it's unsafe, help me to make it safer. Don't charge me $14,000 to live here.
Thank you, Michael. Desiree Rinaldo.
Good evening. My name is Desiree Rinaldo. I'm representing my grandmother, who you heard was in the hospital with pneumonia. She lives at 61 West Park Row. I couldn't help but notice in researching this proactive code enforcement that there was a draft dated November 2008 that said, let it be known, with construction down, qualified building inspectors are facing layoffs. This proactive code enforcement would allow qualified inspectors to dramatically increase their workload, avoiding redeployment. Now, it's supposed to be about safety. When we know, permitted or not, most structures that were built in the 1940s would never, ever pass today's safety standards. Moving on, I also found that in my grandmother's case, her property lies within the downtown specific plan. They call for possible land assembly for infill developments for urban mixed-use properties. She has a double lot, it's mixed use, residential, commercial, probably very, very attractive, I'm sure. I have to wonder if it's not about Prop 13. She pays very little property tax because she's been there for over 65 years. I have to wonder if they're not trying to push people out by intimidating them and threatening them with condemnation so that they can make these new properties that would bring in additional property tax, to say the least, business license, permits, liquor licenses, and who knows what else. I hope that I hope I'm wrong and that there's not an underlying agenda here, but I just hope that everybody knows that that is what's in the plan. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all of our speaker cards for this evening, unless I missed some.